In New York City tonight, the political shocker in the Democratic primary for mayor, a 33-year-old self-described Democratic Socialist, State Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani, defeating nearly a dozen candidates, including former Governor Andrew Cuomo, sending reverberations through the Democratic Party across the country. Are voters sending a message? Rachel Scott interviewing the winner tonight and what he said about affordability in New York City and the country.
Tonight, the political earthquake in America's largest city reverberating for Democrats across the country.
Tonight, we made history.
33-year-old Zohran Mamdani, who just weeks ago was a little-known state assemblyman, pulling off an upset win in the Democratic primary for mayor.
We have given our city permission to believe again.
Mamdani defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who was hoping for a political comeback after resigning in disgrace amid a sexual harassment scandal.
Tonight is his night. He deserved it. He won.
Mamdani's campaign laser focused on making New York more affordable, a strategy he tells me could be a blueprint for Democrats.
I think there's a question of how we return back to what made so many of us proud to be Democrats.
How do you do that?
And I think it's that focus on an economic agenda, on ensuring that people can do more than just struggle.
Mamdani, who proudly calls himself a Democratic Socialist, campaigned on freezing rent, making buses free, and opening city-run supermarkets. In November, he'll face the city's current mayor, Eric Adams.
He's a snake oil salesman. He will say and do anything to get elected.
Adams was indicted on corruption charges, which were later dismissed by the Trump administration. Trump going on the attack.
So President Trump just weighed in and called you a communist lunatic. What do you say to that?
You know, this is not the first time that President Trump is going to comment on myself. He ran a presidential campaign in part speaking about the necessity of making groceries cheaper and to make cost of living more navigable for so many. He's shown himself uninterested and unable to deliver on that.
Former Governor Andrew Cuomo has conceded the primary, but he's not out of the race just yet. He is now weighing his options, considering whether to still run as an independent in the general election, David.
Rachel, good to have you in New York tonight. Thank you. One more note overseas tonight. There was a moment from the NATO summit that's making news tonight between President Trump and a Ukrainian journalist. The reporter asking him if the U.S. is open to selling anti-air missile systems to Ukraine. The president then asked her if she lived there, and then he asked her about her husband. And here's how it played out.
Are you living yourself now in Ukraine?
My husband is there.
Wow.
And
I can see you're very, it's amazing.
And me with the kids, I'm in Warsaw actually, because he wanted me to be.
Is your husband a soldier? No?
He's
there now?
Yeah.
Wow. That's rough stuff, right? That's tough. And you're living here?
In Warsaw.
That's a very good question. And I wish you a lot of luck. I mean, I can see it's very upsetting to you. So say hello to your husband, okay? Thank you.
The president and that Ukrainian journalist today. The president also did meet with President Zelensky afterward, the president signaling a willingness to send Patriot missiles to Ukraine. When we come back on this busy news night, an executive for DoorDash and his parents killed in a boating accident. What happened in those rough waters? Also, a woman is forced to make the decision whether to toss her baby from a burning apartment building. The Good Samaritans below begging her to, and you'll see it in a moment here. Next tonight, a DoorDash executive and his parents among 8 people now killed in a boating accident. Josh Pickles, his mother Paula, and father Terry all died when their boat capsized in Lake Tahoe. Officials say thunderstorms and powerful waves moved in as the group went boating. They were celebrating their mother's birthday on that boat that the family owned. Tonight, we're also tracking a new Amber Alert in Idaho, an urgent search at this hour for 2 teenagers, a brother and a sister. Authorities are looking for 13-year-old Alan Fisher and his sister, 15-year-old Rachel. Their mother, Elizabeth Roundy, says someone hauled her teens away in a car outside a store in Montview. Police say someone might be taking those teens to an FLDS group, a religious group in Utah. They are looking for a gray Honda or Hyundai tonight, a sedan with Utah plates. When we come back here tonight, that mother who had to make that decision about whether to throw her baby from high up in a burning apartment building and the Good Samaritans below. And tonight, the NBA draft live right here on ABC. The top prospect causing a lot of buzz, the pride of Maine tonight in a moment. To the index tonight in the terrifying moment when a woman had to decide whether to throw her baby into the arms of rescuers from a burning apartment building. Take a look at the woman making that split-second decision, tossing the baby as flames grew in the apartment building there in Cleveland. The baby was caught by the Good Samaritans. Both the baby and mother are okay tonight. 5 other people were injured. Officials say an explosion in the building caused the fire. Tonight, scientists say swarms of aggressive killer bees are on the move and spreading across the U.S. The honeybees are now found in 13 states, primarily in the South. The bees thriving in arid climates, appearing to be advancing northward as the weather warms up. Researchers say Oregon, the Great Plains, and southern Appalachian areas could see swarms in the coming years. When we come back here tonight, excitement building at this hour for the NBA draft. It'll be live here on ABC, and all eyes on one superstar forward who's getting a lot of the hype.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, sponsored by Librela. See the difference.
Finally tonight here, the NBA draft. You saw it right here live on ABC. Rhiannon Alley is there tonight on the rising stars whose lives just changed. Rhiannon.
David, tonight lives were changed and history was made at night one of the NBA draft here at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And joining a list of first-round draft picks, a very elite list, 18-year-old Duke University star forward Cooper Flagg going to the Dallas Mavericks, who had the first pick. Dylan Harper was the second pick. And if that name sounds familiar to NBA fans, it's because his dad is five-time NBA champ Ron Harper. Dylan and his teammate at Rutgers University, Ace Bailey, made history. The duo is the first pair of Rutgers teammates to be selected in the same first round, both going in the top 5. It was certainly a night to remember for these players and their families. More lives will be changed tomorrow night in night 2 of the draft. David.
All right, thanks, Rhiannon, right there at the draft tonight for us. I'm David Muir. I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.